I didn't expect my quiet restoration project to turn into a neighborhood meltdown, but the moment I finished restoring a 150-year-old cabin mansion, the HOA made it their personal crusade. What started as peeling logs, sagging beams, and a roof that had survived more winters than anyone alive, quickly became the most talked-about property in the valley, and not in the way the HOA wanted. When I bought the place, it was barely standing. Hand-hewn timbers, stone foundation, iron hardware forged before electricity existed. This cabin had history. I spent months restoring it the right way, period-accurate materials, structural reinforcements hidden behind original walls, and permits pulled down to the last nail. The county inspector actually thanked me for preserving local heritage. That should have been the end of it. Then the HOA president, let's call her Karen, showed up. She marched onto my property with a clipboard, heels sinking into the dirt, and announced that the cabin was supposed to be preserved for the community. I asked her what she meant. She puffed up and said, word for word, that's my son's inheritance, and not a historic site, not the community's asset, her son's. I calmly explained I owned the land outright, deed recorded, taxes paid. No HOA covenants applied to my parcel. She laughed like I'd told a joke and said the HOA would fix that. The next week, I got violation notices for things that didn't exist, paint color not approved on raw wood, landscaping rules for native forest, even a fine for unauthorized historical renovation, which is not a thing. Each notice cited bylaws that didn't apply to me, so I complied maliciously. I sent certified letters with the deed map highlighted, county approvals attached, and a polite request for the HOA to stop trespassing. Then I installed a historically accurate wrought iron gate, approved by the County Historical Board, with a sign listing the parcel number and the words, private property. No HOA jurisdiction. Karen lost it. She showed up again, yelling about her son, his future, how the cabin was promised to him. Promised by who? The forest. I recorded the entire interaction while calmly asking her to leave. She refused. So I called the non-emergency line. An officer arrived, reviewed the paperwork, and told her, politely, that she had no claim, no authority, and no right to be there. That should have ended it. Instead, the HOA sent a lawyer letter. Big mistake. My attorney responded with proof of ownership, a boundary survey, and a warning about harassment and interference with property rights. We CC'd the county. We CC'd the Historical Society. We CC'd their insurance carrier. 2 days later, the HOA lawyer withdrew. 1 week later, the HOA board resigned. Now the cabin stands restored, protected, and quiet again. Sunlight hits the old timbers like it did a century ago. Tourists stop to admire it from the road, and Karen, she won't even make eye contact, because history doesn't belong to entitlement, and inheritance doesn't come from screaming at the wrong owner.